I don't know. I can't believe this woman is still in the country, let alone in Congress. Okay, get ready for this, folks. Ilhan Omar, who has always made it very clear that she loves her home country of Somalia and serves her home country of Somalia above all else, including this country. She hates this country. Omar came out railing against President Trump, ending Somali protected status. By the way, it's fact that the part of Minnesota that Omar represents in Minneapolis is a known and documented breeding ground for terrorism, and they desire Sharia law. But here she is making things up to defend the only people she actually cares about, not the citizens of Minnesota, but her home state.
Somalis are not terrorizing this nation. We are helping it thrive. Somalis have always seen themselves as a fabric of this nation. So not only are we not going anywhere, we are not going to allow anybody to make us feel less Minnesotan or less American.
Somalis are the fabric of this country. Interesting, but wait, there's more. Omar's defense of terrorism.
In this country, we do not blame the lawlessness of an individual on a whole community. What we also know is that there is not a single evidence that the president or his coonies have put forth that there are any single resource from taxpayers in Minnesota that has gone to aid and abet terrorism. That language is dangerous. That language puts the lives of Somalis not only in Minnesota, but across the country in danger.
Well, if the hat fits, so to speak. I don't know. I'm not sure why they continue to elect this woman. Besides, she married her brother to get him citizenship, and her husband made $40 million over the last couple of years protecting her with some security detail, whatever, the $40 million. That's either donors or taxpayer. Either way, they should really investigate her. Sedition-gate continues this week with Democrats coming to the defense of the congressional Democrat losers who woke up last week and chose treason. Seditionist Mark Kelly was on Rachel Maddow last night. Of course, he was trying to defend the video and whining about being investigated.
Let me first just get your response to this threat from the Defense Department saying that they are investigating you. They may potentially recall you to active duty to face a court-martial.
Well, Rachel, I said something that was pretty simple and non-controversial, and that was that members of the military should follow the law. And in response to that, Donald Trump said I should be executed. I should be hanged. I should be prosecuted. He even went on and said something about go get them. I guess sending a mob to round me and the other folks up. So this is, I think it says a lot more about him than it says about me. He doesn't want accountability. But Rachel, I'm not going to be silenced. I'm not going to be intimidated.
No, Senator Mark Kelly, you didn't. You told people to disobey orders, legal orders, absolute legal orders, your commanding officer orders. That is sedition. That is treason. I'm not sure Trump said they should round you up, but what do they do to treasonous people? They hang them. Cry about it, Mark, except there's this thing. Mark then inadvertently admitted that the president has, in fact, not issued any illegal orders.
When you and your colleagues made that video, were there specific, potentially illegal orders that you were thinking about that were the sort of precipitating cause for you guys to get together and do that?
Here's the thing, Rachel. You don't want to wait for your kid to get hit by a car before you tell them to look both ways.
In other words, no, we didn't respond to Trump doing anything. We just didn't like him, so we told the military to disobey your commanding officer. Wow, that's dangerous. You guys are so screwed. And by the way, right before the show, I heard that the FBI and the CIA are investigating those 8 seditionists. So, of course, Joe Scarborough comes out knowing these seditionists had no reason to make that video and says that they should have come out with clear examples of these so-called illegal Trump orders. Newsflash, Joe, they don't list them because they don't exist.
And if I have a criticism of what the Democrats have been saying, well, they fumbled the ball this weekend. but he has white latitude on strikes. Ask Barack Obama and drone strikes. Ask George W. Bush and drone strikes. But where we know the president has said, I am going to give illegal orders to people in the military, is when he was on Air Force One, coming back, I forget where he was coming back from, but he said, I can send the Marines, I can send the Army, I can send the Air Force, I can send the Coast Guard into any city I want to control crime. And the courts can't do anything about it. That's illegal.
Yeah, because activist judges tried to stop Trump from doing it, not because they were ex-constitutional, because they just didn't like Trump or the ideas. And the Supreme Court said, no, shut up. Activist judges, sit down. They should have been disbarred, by the way. But sit down, shut up. This is all constitutional. So there's nothing right about what Joe Scarborough just said. Arizona Senator Ruben Gallego is one of the Democrats who apparently thinks it's a good idea to try to stir up civil war and is out here making threats against anyone who opposes hating America.
Donald Trump's going to be gone a couple years. And if you're part of the military that is going after sitting senators, sitting members of Congress, and part of, the weaponization of government, there will be consequences, without a doubt. So, I think there's going to be a lot of officers that are going to be part of this, potential tribunal, if they want to call it that. They're going to be looking over their shoulders because they know that Donald Trump will be gone and they will not have that protection. They're going to have to do the safest thing possible, which is follow the Constitution of the United States.
What do you mean by that, Senator Ruben? That's amazing. These Democrats, they just hate this country. They hate this country. They're trying to divide us at any chance they can. Kentucky Democrat Amy McGrath, who's running for Mitch McConnell's Senate seat, also just loves a call for insurrection, doesn't she?
Yesterday, Senator Alyssa Slotkin, who's also, of course, in that video, she said she was not, in her words, not aware of any illegal orders that had been issued by the president. Do you believe the video itself, as a former Marine, the video itself was appropriate?
It's a yes, because look, members of Congress, the military is not just responsible to the commander in chief, but also to Congress.
Just follow the rules. This is where you keep order in the military. This is why we have the strongest military on the planet, because there's order. There's rules and there's order. When you want to break the rules, you create chaos. You don't want chaos in the military. It's probably one of the more unsettling things to any democracy is you create chaos in your military. Also, grooming of your children in the universities and schools, that's another way to create chaos. On that note, I can't believe we're still talking about this in America or anywhere for that matter. The grooming continues and the perversion of this country's children is not just happening, it's being celebrated on a morning nationally televised show, mind you.
Thanks for being here. I love that you love root beer, caffeine free. I can get on board with that.
My mom doesn't like me drinking caffeine.
Does it make you hyper? Yeah, me too. They don't like when I drink caffeine either. But Jasmine, you're one of the youngest and first drag queen/kids. And I've heard
Michael Strahan, really? And then the crowd cheers that perversion? What's wrong with us? Well, here we go again. More of the Obama playbook of race baiting. Chicago Mayor Let's Go Brandon Johnson is really out there claiming that putting people in jail for committing crimes, well, of course he's going to say this. Well, doing that is obviously racist.
We cannot incarcerate our way out of violence. We've already tried that. And we've ended up with the largest prison population in the world without solving the problems of crime and violence. The addiction on jails and incarceration in this country, we have moved past that. It is racist, it is immoral, it is unholy, and it is not the way to drive violence down.
Putting people in jail is racist, immoral, unholy when they commit crimes. This is why you have a crime problem in Chicago. Dumbass. I'm sorry, did I say that? Should I not have said that? I said it because we at The Edge, we believe average is comfortable. We don't do comfortable on the edge. Take a look at the bottom of that thermometer. The average YouTube channel sits at around 200 to 300 subscribers after 65 days, where we are right now. The edge, 5,710. That's what happens when you cut the noise and focus on grit, perseverance, success, and real talk. We're moving fast and we're not slowing down. I got a call to action right now for you folks. I love you. You've been amazing. You helped us get to 5,710 when the average show is at 200 to 365 days in. Let's get to 7,000. That number at the top of that is 7,000. The mission, 7,000 subscribers by the time the ball drops on New Year's Eve. Can you help me get there? If you've been watching but haven't subscribed yet, now's the time. Share that with a friend who needs that extra edge. Take your camera, point it right at that QR code, a little yellow line comes across it, press it, you've subscribed. It's not for marketing, it's not to sell you anything. Never charge you a penny for this. The Edge is just great content. Brett Favre, Jordan Belfort, Patrick Bet-David, Tito Ortiz coming up next week. You got to join. It's great content, and we're doing it because we're done being quiet. It's a platform that's growing. YouTube.com/@EricBollingTheEdge. YouTube.com/@EricBollingTheEdge. Please subscribe, help us out, let YouTube know we're growing and we're here for the duration. We'll be right back, 2.5 minutes.